Hi, it's Shonna, and welcome to Stories with Shonna. I am so glad you took time today to be here for a story with me. I'd like to be able to have just some quiet time with you, and so I'm going to ask you to get comfortable, find a quiet space, and if it's not quiet where you are, maybe you put some headphones in. If you're cold, get a blanket. If you're hot, put on a t-shirt. I like to have a cup of tea when I'm reading stories, and I've got mine ready for you. What would you like? Maybe a glass of water? Or maybe a snack? Do you have a stuffed animal that you like, that you could have a cuddle with, or a pet? Maybe you have a dog. Have a snuggle, get cozy, and get ready to relax. Now take a deep breath in. Hold it and let it out. I'm ready. Are you ready? Do whatever you need to do to feel relaxed. Relaxed means calm. I'll wait for you. You can just put a pause and come back. Are you ready now? I am excited because it's almost my favorite time of year. And where I live, the leaves are starting to change colors to yellow and green or yellow and orange and red, and the nights are getting cooler and it's not hot outside anymore. It's starting to be fall. And where I live, we have a lot of leaves. Where you live, maybe you don't rake your leaves because it's out in the forest and you don't need to. Maybe you don't have trees around you that you need to rake the leaves about. But where I live, there are lots of leaves and we have to rake them and put them in bags. I use a rake, but some of my neighbors use something called a leaf blower. It's like this great big blow dryer that pushes all the leaves in a pile. Then we put the piles in a bag, and a garbage truck comes to pick them up and uses them for compost to make good soil to grow things. So this is a story about some kids and their family that rake leaves, and it gets really, really silly. It's a book called Leaves, and the author, the person who wrote the book, is called Robert Munsch. He's a famous writer. He's written all kinds of really funny books. If you like this one, you might like some other books by Robert Munsch. The pictures are done by the illustrator, and the illustrator in this book is called Michael Marchenko. He's famous too. He helps Robert Munsch with a lot of his books, and he does beautiful, beautiful pictures. Are you ready to read with me? Okay. Leaves by Robert Munsch. Here's the title again. It says Leaves, exclamation mark. That means yes, I'm excited. Spells leaves. One day, let's get comfortable here. One day, Sydney and Alex's dad said, "There are lots of leaves all over the yard, so today we're going to rake leaves." "Leaves, leaves, leaves," yelled Sydney and Alex. "We love leaves." Looks like they love to throw the leaves up in the air. I told a friend of mine last week I was reading this book, and I brought leaves to play with her. I promised her that I would show her leaves when I read this book, and here they are. There's some leaves. Leaves are fun because you can throw them at people like a leaf fight, and they don't hurt. They don't hurt. So Alex and Sydney went out to their garage to look for rakes, and they found their dad's new leaf blower. Look at that thing. It's huge. Sydney picked it up and said, "Look, Alex, this is easy. It has low, medium, and high speeds. I'm going to do all of the leaves in the front yard." That's a lot of leaves, isn't it? Sydney put the leaf blower on low. The leaf blower went whoosh, and she blew all of the leaves in the front yard into a big, big pile. "Neat," said Alex. "Would you like to use a leaf blower and blow them into a big, big pile?" I think it would be fun too. Then their dad came out and said, "Whoa, Sydney, where's Cameron?" They looked all over, and then Alex said, "I think I hear somebody." Where do you think Cameron might be? I think he was outside. "I think I hear somebody under the big pile of leaves." "Uh-oh," said Sydney. "I leafed her." They ran into the pile and they pushed all of the leaves all around the yard until they found Cameron. Look at that. Have you ever been buried in the leaves? It actually doesn't hurt. It's pretty fun. She had leaves in her ears, leaves in her mouth, leaves in her nose, and leaves in her hair. And their dad took her inside to give her a bath. All I could see are her eyes and 2 shoes. When they were gone, Alex said to Sydney, "I'm going to show you how to do it right." And he turned the leaf blower on to medium, and it went, look at this word, whoosh, and blew all of the leaves into a huge, huge pile. Look at that big pile of leaves. How do you think he feels about making that big pile of leaves? I think he is pretty happy. He's pretty proud of himself. And then their dad came back out and said, "Nice job, Alex. But where's Sydney?" Where do you think she went? "Uh-oh," yelled their dad. "You leafed her." And he ran into the pile of leaves, scattered them until he found Sydney, and she had leaves in her ears, and leaves in her mouth, and leaves in her nose, and leaves in her hair, and leaves in her belly button, and between her toes. Look at that. And look at her face. How does she feel about being leafed? Yeah. Oh, you're right. I think she's angry. So her father took her inside to give her a bath, but just before he went, he said, "Alex, just use a rake." "Right," said Alex, "just a rake. Do you know what a rake is?" A rake looks like this. It's almost like a broom, but with metal like lines to gather the leaves together. Just use a rake. Don't use the leaf blower. Do you think Alex listened to his dad? Let's find out. His dad was gone a long time, and when he finally came back out, Alex had cleaned up the whole front yard with just a rake. "Good work," said his dad. "Now you can watch me use the leaf blower in the backyard." Leaf blowers are very loud, and his dad's clever. He's wearing ear protectors because it's too loud. Do you ever hear things that are too loud? Sometimes I don't like the sound of the vacuum cleaner, and I might want to use ear protectors. Or maybe the music is too loud and you want to put ear protectors on. Well, his dad went in the backyard. He put on the leaf blower on low, and it went vroom. Needs more, he said. He put the leaf blower on medium, and it went vroom. Needs more, he said. He put the leaf blower on high, and it went that's maximum power. What do you think happened? I think you're right. I think a lot of leaves got gathered up. What? It blew all of the leaves, but also the table and the chairs and the swings and the trees and the garden into a great big pile. That, he said, is how it's supposed to work. Oh my gosh, what do you see in that picture? I see a bird. What do you see? He blew an ice skate into that pile. Oh my gosh. That's a big mess. Where's Mommy? Said Sydney. Uh-oh, said their dad. Please tell me she was not in the garden. Where do you think their mom is? She was in the garden, said Sydney and Alex and Cameron. You leafed her. Where's the mom? You're right. I think she's in that big pile of leaves. Do you think she's going to like that she was leafed? Probably not. Would you like to be leafed? Here, let me throw some leaves at you. Oh my gosh. And the kids ran into the pile and dug out their mom, who had leaves in her ears, and leaves in her mouth, and leaves in her nose, and leaves in her hair, and leaves in her belly button, and leaves between her toes, and leaves in her eyes. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. So she went inside and took a bath, and when she was done, let's fix that. And when she was done, she threw away the leaf blower, and they raked the backyard with rakes, just with rakes. And look, the raccoons are going, what is that? And that is the end. Do you think you would like to be in a pile of leaves? If the leaves are changing colors near where you live, maybe you could go outside and see if you can find some that are beautiful, because it really is magical to see all of the colors that the trees can make. I'm really glad you came to see this story and listen to it with me. And I hope you come back. You can listen to this story as many times as you like. And if you really like this book and we see each other, just let me know and I'll see what I can do to get you your own copy. Maybe you can go to the library and find it. I hope you have a wonderful week, and thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.